Rick Harrison, the charismatic and sharp-witted owner of the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas, has become a household name thanks to his starring role on Pawn Stars *, one of the longest-running reality TV shows. Known for his encyclopedic knowledge of antiques, collectibles, and rare items, Rick has built an empire out of buying, selling, and negotiating deals that often leave viewers both entertained and educated. But beyond the glitz and glamour of the pawn shop world lies a lesser-known story about a memorable encounter with none other than former President Donald Trump. A moment that stands out not just because of its rarity, but also because it showcased an unexpected side of the controversial figure. The incident occurred several years ago during a charity event where Rick was invited as a guest speaker. These types of events are common for celebrities, especially those who have achieved widespread recognition through television or other media platforms. For Rick, it was another opportunity to share insights into his life as a pawnbroker, discuss the intricacies of running a family business, and perhaps even promote some upcoming projects related to Pawn Stars *. What he didn't anticipate, however, was crossing paths with Donald Trump, who was also attending the same gathering. At this point in time, Trump's reputation preceded him. Brash, outspoken, and unapologetically confident, he wasn't exactly known for humility or contrition. So when Rick found himself face-to-face with the real estate mogul turned political powerhouse, he braced himself for what many might assume would be a typical exchange: superficial pleasantries, or maybe even a boastful anecdote from Trump about his latest deal or accomplishment. Instead, something entirely different unfolded. According to Rick, the first words out of Trump's mouth were, "Rick, I am really sorry." The apology caught him completely off guard. It wasn't delivered with fanfare or theatrics. Rather, it came across as sincere and direct. At first, Rick admits he was confused. He couldn't immediately recall anything specific that warranted such a gesture. But then Trump clarified, explaining that he had once made a dismissive comment about pawnbrokers during a public appearance or interview, a remark that Rick hadn't personally heard, but which had evidently stung members of the industry. Trump went on to explain that his earlier statement hadn't been intended as a personal attack against Rick or any individual pawnbroker. Instead, it stemmed from a broader perception, or perhaps misconception, that pawn shops were outdated relics of a bygone era, disconnected from modern commerce. However, after watching episodes of Pawn Stars * and seeing how Rick transformed the business into a cultural phenomenon, Trump said he realized the error of his ways. He acknowledged that pawnbrokers like Rick played a vital role in their communities, offering financial services to people who might otherwise struggle to access credit, while simultaneously preserving history by dealing in unique and valuable artifacts. For Rick, this moment was significant for several reasons. First, it demonstrated that even someone as polarizing as Trump could recognize when they'd made a mistake and take steps to rectify it. In today's hyper-partisan climate, apologies from public figures are rare, making this interaction all the more noteworthy. Second, it validated the hard work and dedication that Rick and countless other pawnbrokers put into their craft. While the stereotype of pawnshops being seedy or disreputable still exists in some circles, Rick has spent decades working to change that narrative. Having someone of Trump's stature acknowledge the value of his profession reinforced the importance of breaking down those barriers. Reflecting on the conversation later, Rick noted how genuine Trump seemed in his apology. There was no defensiveness, no attempt to downplay the original comment, and no ulterior motive apparent in the exchange. It was simply one man owning up to a misstep and extending a hand in reconciliation. This struck Rick as refreshingly honest, particularly given the larger-than-life persona that Trump typically projected. Beyond the personal significance of the moment, it also highlighted an interesting dynamic between two very different personalities. On the surface, Rick Harrison and Donald Trump couldn't appear more dissimilar. Rick is grounded, pragmatic, and deeply knowledgeable about niche subjects, whereas Trump is bombastic, ambitious, and thrives on commanding attention. Yet beneath these outward differences, there's a shared trait. Both men understand the art of negotiation and the power of persuasion. Whether it's haggling over the price of a vintage firearm or brokering a multi-million-dollar real estate deal, success in either field requires a keen sense of timing, strategy, and interpersonal dynamics. In the years since that encounter, Rick has occasionally reflected on the experience in interviews, always framing it as a positive memory. He appreciates the fact that Trump took the time to address the issue directly, rather than letting it linger unresolved. Moreover, the apology served as a reminder that everyone makes mistakes, including high-profile individuals, and that owning up to them can go a long way toward repairing relationships and fostering mutual respect. Of course, the story doesn't end there. As Pawn Stars continued to grow in popularity, Rick became increasingly involved in philanthropy and community outreach, using his platform to support causes close to his heart. From donating proceeds from pawned items to charity auctions to participating in fundraisers for veterans organizations, he leveraged his fame to give back in meaningful ways. And while he may never cross paths with Trump again, the lesson he took away from their brief interaction remains ingrained in his approach to life and business. Treat others with respect, listen to differing perspectives, and don't shy away from admitting when you're wrong. Looking back, Rick views the apology not as a pivotal turning point in his career, but as a poignant example of human connection. It underscores the idea that regardless of status, wealth, or influence, we all share a fundamental need to be understood and appreciated. For Rick, meeting Trump and receiving that unexpected apology reinforced the belief that empathy and accountability transcend boundaries, whether they're drawn by politics, profession, or personality. Ultimately, the story of Rick Harrison and Donald Trump's brief yet impactful encounter serves as a testament to the power of humility and the enduring value of respectful dialogue. In a world often dominated by noise and division, moments like these remind us that even the most unlikely interactions can yield profound lessons, if we're willing to listen